Hi there. As I've shared before, it's not always easy for me to speak to the camera, so if you'd like to incentivize me to do more of this commentary, please click to subscribe below and share my commentary as widely as you can. Okay, so where are we in the very sad saga of the Russia-Ukraine conflict? Well, as you know, all nations now are expected to have found religion on Ukraine. As I pointed out at the start of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, from COVID submission, we, the zombie subjects of the new global order, we are not citizens, we were directed to shuffle along obediently into a new kind of compliance, this time over Ukraine. In other words, agree with America's Disneyfied angels and demons foreign policy, which has now thoroughly infected the world, or face the consequences. Just as corporate America cancels citizens it deems too reactionary, the American state can and will cancel entire countries. That has become evident. So unless Russia is made over in this self-righteous sloganeering woke image of America, it will not be allowed to stand, not in its current iteration or form. But what do you know? Some countries have opted for political neutrality in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. They are choosing the classically liberal position, which opposes sanctions always, given that these are as useless in achieving political ends as they are ruthless in their effects on always the most vulnerable. Okay, so as far as their ultimate outcome, embargoes are counterproductive, and certainly I've always advocated for high-level diplomacy. That works, not sanctions. So, chief among the countries that wish to remain politically neutral and commercially engaged with Russia, they're still calling for a diplomatic resolution to the conflict. But these countries want to remain neutral, and they are Hungary, Serbia, and that's quite interesting because Serbia bans citizens from fighting in conflicts abroad. Not a bad idea. As well as India and China, they too are positioning themselves as neutrals. Encouraged by President Vladimir Zelensky, the Biden administration has been menacing these neutrals for maintaining military and commercial ties with Russia. The concept of neutrality is an important part of Western civilization. You didn't know that, did you? Subscribe. As one such scholarly book has explained, the concept of respect for neutrals appears early in Greek history and remains a nearly constant feature of classical wars. By threatening to punish nations for wishing to further comity and friendship between countries, for supporting peaceful resolution as China and India have done, yet still practicing detached neutrality in the matter of Ukraine and Russia, the empire, America, is working to obliterate that time-honored civilizing concept that is political neutrality. Judging from its silence, the stupid party, the Republicans, second the evil party on the matter of neutrality. There is another look-away issue, which is so plain to see in the Ukrainian refugee matter. But nobody will say it, so I will. Subscribe. Before our very eyes, we see a peaceful, almost seamless integration of millions upon millions of Ukrainian refugees into Poland predominantly, but as well as into surrounding countries like Romania, Slovakia, and Hungary. How so? It's exceptional. No one will say what is so plain to see. So I will. Those fleeing and those welcoming them with open arms are almost exclusively of the same Slavic, European racial groups. They share similar habits, habitats, and histories. It's both natural and easy to welcome people so like you into your midst. For their part, grateful Ukrainians are already begging their benefactors not for handouts, but for jobs. This is so uncommon in the recent history of refugees, unheard of. Clearly, in homogeneous, smaller societies, the trust quotient and fellow feeling among people is high. Social capital is how social scientist Robert Putnam called this. Social connectedness and civic solidarity is high in these relatively similar and small societies. If you doubt this statement, and I'm merely deducing from what I see in reality around me, just imagine the uproar that would have ensued if 3 million Syrian and Libyan refugees were preparing to flood Poland. Think about that.